welcome back to my channel. This is Enjoy the Bounty of Planning with Tanisha Taylor. So today's video is a Christmas unboxing. I'm calling it that, but really it's actually the subscription box for December from Cloth and Paper. I am so excited about this, even though I kind of, so here's a fun thing about me. I hate surprises, actually. I do not like them, which is kind of, it's surprising, actually. And I use that word on purpose. It's surprising that I even do subscription boxes like this, where it's basically a surprise until it comes. But I do love stationery. So I subscribe to the Cloth and Paper monthly stationery box. And even though I don't know exactly what I'm getting in the subscription box until they do the unboxing kind of reveal on Cloth and Paper's website, the fact that they actually do that before the boxes are all shipped out to everyone actually satisfies my problem with surprises. So I do, and then also there's people on here who get their boxes before me, record unboxing videos, and that also helps me deal with the fact that I'm basically surprised. But it's still a surprise until you get your own actual box. So here we go with the unboxing of the subscription box for December. So when you open the box, you get this what's inside card, which we're just gonna lay to the side. And then we're gonna actually just pick everything up out of the box and move the box to the side. Oops, and the box fell over, of course. All right, I'm just gonna rip that open because I don't keep the tissue paper. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, so like I said, I totally looked at the website. And the website doesn't tell you everything that's coming in the box, but it gives you a good idea. So there's still goodies that you're like surprised about. But so here is one card. This is almost an 8.5 by 11. And it's just a quote card that says, "You are on a journey with no defined beginning, middle, or end. There is no wrong twists or turns. There are no wrong twists or turns. There's just begin. And your job is to be as you can be," by Jen Cisnero. So that's kind of cool. We did get a card like this in another box, and I liked that quote a lot. So I did frame it and put it on the wall in this space where this desk is. And so, I don't know, this one I might just hang on to it, and then maybe I'll switch them out. I don't know, the sentiment isn't, it's okay. It's not like 100% a sentiment I would go with, but you know. All right, okay. So, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna also say this. I did look at what was coming in this box, so I already knew what was coming, and I was actually prepared to be disappointed because I am not an A5 person. I do not like them. So everything in this box is A5 size. But I have to say, now that I'm feeling the quality of this, I'm like, ooh, this might actually work out. So I was, and I had already started, I bought some half letter size pages because I decided that what I might want to try and do is set up a journaling notebook, and I wanted that to be smaller. And so so this is an A5 sized plastic note binder cover. It's a fairly thick plastic. Let me see if I can tell using a ruler. So it's less than 1/4 centimeter thick on that plastic. It's very soft and pliable. but it's very thick and it seems like it would be very durable. It does have this rubber band, so it's kind of like a traveler's notebook. And then these two little black tabs on this side, which seem to be magnetic, also have, I don't know if you can, whoops, if you can tell that, but they have like a little groove in them. Let me stop jumping the camera around. And that groove is to hold that little rubber band in place. So that's super awesome, okay? They're also, they seem to be magnetic maybe, or maybe it's just because there's no paper in there and so the plastic is kind of sticking together. But that's how it will close, and once there's paper in there, you can see that that would actually, those little grooves would keep that closed pretty tight. So that's pretty awesome. If you're an A5 user, that is super cool. I am not an A5 user, but A5 and half letter are not that far off from each other in size. And so, like I said, I was planning to do journaling in a half letter size. So now I might just do that in this A5 size, which is super cool. So let's open up. Every subscription box comes with a collection of journaling cards. So you get this plastic journaling card, which is just for the month of February, which kind of means, I think that means we didn't get a January journaling card, a plastic one, because in the November box, there was a January journaling card, calendar card, but it was this, it was the cardstock. There wasn't a plastic one in there. So I love these. I have punched these before. And use them as bookmarks in my planner. So I usually punch them a little bit like that, so that there's a little bookmark. But I have to say, punching them is really, it's not easy, and I've definitely messed up a hole puncher that way. So I won't do it anymore. I've punched 3 of them. I've messed up the 3 cards that I punched. I've messed up a hole puncher. It's a whole scenario. So no more punching them. But I will still be using them. And then you have a cardstock one, and then this journaling card that just says progress, not perfection, which I absolutely love as an academic writer. I think that so often academics, we kind of get trapped in this idea sometimes that the writing has to be perfect before we submit it for publication. Because the truth is, if you became an academic and a professor and a scholar, you were probably like a student that strived for A's more often than they strived for any other letter grade. And so you have a lot of tied up ideas about perfection, which is all crap, frankly. And especially if you're a woman or you're Black or you're a student of color, if you're first generation student, you probably have a lot of anxieties about perfection. And the thing is again, all crap. We all need to let that crap go. And so progress, not perfection. I love this. This is going to go right next to the one about first drafts and getting it done. So that's that. And then we have this 2021 monthly goal planning overview with quarterly sections and notes. And I think, y'all, I'm going to open this up. So I apologize. I'm going to open up all this stuff. So I apologize for the plastic crackling noises. So I think that this is really going to go well with also, because I had decided that I am going to move my bullet journal from a bound notebook to a disc bound notebook. And I'll talk about that in another video. But since I've always kept a research journal, I think that I'm going to actually let this binder be my research journal now. I think. It's either going to be my personal journal or my research journal. I can't decide which yet. But the fact that I have this kind of 2021 overview, this feels very research journal to me. And a way to be able to do a future log like I would in a bullet journal, but then I don't have to sit there and do all of the layout myself. So I really like this. So it's set up by quarters. So you have a whole quarter spread on 2 pages. And then you have like little bullets, basically, like little bubbles, and then just straight note space. And then all of Cloth and Paper stuff with the calendar always has the top 3 priorities. And then this one just has blank space for you to be able to write in the rest of the stuff. I really love this for the idea of using this, like I said, for a future log for research purposes. Like, this could be really great to be able to plan out research based on the quarter, which I basically already do. Actually not quarter, I'm sorry. I base my research goals on the semester, which this actually might be a good way to do it because I also, it's funny, I base my research goals on the semester, but I also split my research goals. So I have certain things that I want to get done at the beginning of the semester, and then the things that I get done at the beginning of the semester allow me to finish projects at the end of the semester. Because one of my tricks that I developed is to write with my students. So my students have to do all their research at the beginning of the semester, and then around March is when they're turning in their midterm drafts, and then April and May is when they're turning in their final papers. And so I write with them. So I usually tend to finish anywhere from 2 to 4 papers a semester. Or 2 to 4 projects a semester, so that if I'm doing conferences or what have you, I'm finishing those things along with my students. So while they're writing, I'm writing. And so it turns out to be when I was just teaching and I was not an administrator, that was a really good way to stay kind of active, especially when I was pre-tenure. I made all of my students, because everything I had to write had to be done in Chicago. I taught my students the Chicago Manual of Style, and I made them use the Chicago Manual of Style for citation. So it kept my mind in one place, which was great for me, and they kind of thought it sucked. But, it's college, and I'm in communication, and so we use, depending on where you publish, it's either going to be APA, MLA, or less often Chicago. But in the areas I published in, Chicago was more frequent. So this is what those pages look like up close. So as you can see, you have your bullet points and then your notes area. And then it just says Q4 because this is quarter 4, October through December. And then you have your October, November, December on the 2 pages. And then at the end, you have this one, you have dot grid paper in the back of this, which I love. And it just says 2021 aspirations at the top. And then you have, 2021 accomplishments. And then that's it. So that's great. So like I said, I really think this might end up being this is going to end up being a research journal now that I'm seeing all of this more closely. All right, so this is the new executive notes in A5, and I love the executive notes. I buy the executive note sheets. The old ones I bought in half letter size because that's all they had. They didn't have the classic size. But I fell in love with them, and I love the way the new layout is. So I'll show, if I happen to have one near me, the old layout. But the new layout, which it conveniently tells you, oh my gosh, I keep hitting the camera. I'm so sorry, you guys. It helpfully says new executive notes graph. And this is, again, the A5 size. And so the new notes has for the day on the top, on the first line, and then the month helpfully spelled out. On the old notes, the month was numbered 1 through 12, and then the date, was 1 through 31. So now you have, and then it was in a different order too, I think. I want to say it was, actually I know it was in a different order, but I don't think I have one to show you because I don't have any right here. But anyway, I'm not usually a fan of graph paper, but I'm not necessarily opposed to it either. And so in a research journal, it might not bother me. It might be fine. All right. And then we have journaling inserts, and these are monthly mood tracking journal entries and affirmations. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's see. So for this one, so it gives you journaling prompts for gratitude, self-reflection, self-love, mental health, and inner peace. Which is so amazing because I have been really focused on trying to figure out how I'm going to do exactly this. I almost want to burst into tears. So I have been really thinking about the need to really focus on these things. For 2021, and so I love that this actually comes like this. This is awesome. So you have your mood tracker for the month, and then the key here, I've never used a mood tracker, but lots of people in the bullet journaling community do, and so I think I'm gonna go back. I have a couple of favorite folks like Boho Berry and some others and Amanda Reikley, whose videos I've been watching for years. And they do mood trackers. I might go back and look at how they set theirs up and start to look at this to be able to do one. So I see here, it gives you a calendar and it starts you from Sunday to Saturday. So it is a Sunday start on the month, which y'all know is not my personal preference, but it does make this kind of a nice American option, I guess. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of a Sunday. To me, Sunday is the last day of the week, not the first day of the week, but whatever. And then it says affirmations and inspiration. And then it looks like you just have a place to journal. It's undated. And then you just have the day of the week up here and then dot grid space to journal. So this is super cool. And then it just repeats. And it looks like it might be a month's worth. And then you just have lined paper on the back. So hold on, let me look at the what's inside and see if it tells us for sure. So it says here for the journaling inserts, it says, want to try your hand at journaling but don't know where to start? Or are you a journaling veteran and want to incorporate it in your planning routine? We created these undated journaling inserts so you can start whenever you're ready. So I'm gonna kind of count these out a little bit to see. It makes sense given the number of pages that this might be intended to, this kind of packet like this is intended to be a 1 month packet of journaling, which I love that idea. That's so cool. So let's see real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 sheets, front and back, 2 per sheet. That's gonna be 14 pages. 14 times 2 is gonna get you to what? 28? Yeah. So, and then the 2 extra pages, yeah, that gives you 31 days. Actually gives you a little bit more than 31 days, doesn't it? That's awesome. Okay. I think I'm gonna try it and see. That's exciting. All right. Then we got some dashboards, which, how do you not love a dashboard? Like, I love me a dashboard. I didn't always used to be into them because I started off my kind of reset of my paper planner journey. Oh, that feels so pretty. I started off my reset of my paper planner journey bullet journaling. And I used bound journals. So I started off in a moleskin, then I moved to Electrum, then I moved from Electrum to Scribbles That Matter. And now I am moving my bullet journaling system, my research bullet journaling system into, into a little decor in the way. I'm moving my journaling system into a disc bound, or maybe actually an A5 binder bound journal. So dashboards are cool to me now. So this one, in French, it says to want is to be able to, which I really love that sentiment. And then I believe this is in Latin. I came, I saw, I conquered. Veni, vidi, vici. And then the last, or second to the last, third to the last thing, we have our dividers, because what is a binder without dividers, y'all? An unorganized collection of paper, that's what it is. So these are plastic dividers. They are a very, very beautiful gray color. You get 3 of them. This is so yummy. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. And I guess Cloth and Paper is just gonna really make sure that I go ahead and buy a white gel pen for real and stop playing. Because I definitely do not have one. But these, I love their page flags. I mean, I love them. Their page flags and their transparent sticky notes. I am a huge, 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 huge fan. And so let me pull one of these off. So these are in Avant-Garde, which is basically black. And so you can see it's still transparent. You can see the text through that, but it's also definitely a black, right? And so that just looks so beautiful. I love that. Let's open up. So those are the square flags, and then these are your traditional rectangular flags, which I actually purchased. Let me just rip this open. It's not like I'm gonna put it back in there. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. All right, so these are the page flags in Avant-Garde. Again, it's basically just a black page flag, but it is transparent, so you can definitely see through that. Oh, y'all, I need a fill in the worst way imaginable. Probably need to do something about that. All right. Sorry, got a little bit distracted there for a second. So this is the complete unboxing. So this is everything that's gonna come in that December box. So if you do a subscription box from Cloth and Paper, your boxes usually come toward the end, at least mine do from where I live. I get my box usually in the end of the month. And so like the middle end of the month. So I usually get my box like between the 20th and the 25th typically, which I thought, especially because it's Christmas, that it might come later this year and come after the holidays, but it actually came before Christmas because I am actually filming this on Christmas Eve. So what an exciting, this basically feels like a Christmas present from Cloth and Paper that I gave myself. And I'm so excited about it. So I'm gonna sit down and just set this up a little bit because you guys know when I do my unboxing videos, I always set up my goodies. I don't like them to just be floating around in the world because I feel like that's how they get messed up to, could get messed up too, because the paper is such a white paper. It seems like it would be so easy for it to get messed up. So I'm gonna be right back and I am going to sit down and do a little bit of a setup here. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. So one of the things that I think is important to say is that in this box for December, the end of the year, which is a setup for heading into 2021, that is really important to say is that in every Cloth and Paper subscription box, you always get this what's inside card, which you all saw me put to the side. But the thing that you should know about this subscription box is you get this, you choose what size things that you want. So even though it's a surprise of what actually comes in the box, you know what size it's gonna be. So I plan using a Happy Planner classic size, which is essentially the same size as a B5 size piece of paper, which is what I used to use in terms of a bullet journal or a research notebook. I have been doing, thanks to my undergraduate faculty advisor. Well, actually, she wasn't my faculty advisor. My faculty advisors were Dr. Saferstein because I was a communication major. But my faculty mentor in the faculty mentoring program was Dr. Sharon Elise. And she told me and taught me how to keep a research journal. And so from 1995 to 2020, I have kept a research journal. And then about 5 years ago, I started in about 2015, I think, I started keeping a bullet journal format for my research journal. And I saw my research production like absolutely skyrocket. Like it was amazing to me, like what switching to this format did for my academic production and just my work and my personal life. I just felt like way more organized. So now that I'm an administrator, I am splitting my academic planner from my academic planner, which I'm going to use the Cloth and Paper planner for, from my personal planner and research journal, which I'm going to use it'll be a mix of Happy Planner inserts and Fancy Plans inserts, which I'm really excited about. And then now with this A5 size, I think I might turn this into my journaling binder and I might actually do my journaling and research planning in here. I still haven't 100% decided about that, to be perfectly honest, because I already had decided I was going to do my bullet journaling in a binder or in the disc bound, because I just am in a place where I need more flexibility in being able to like move things around, frankly. And that's really it. But I still need like paper space. And so I wrote this sizing down for y'all, and I'll just put this, I'll probably also put the sizing in the description. So a B5 piece of paper is 7.2 by 10.1 inches. Happy Planner Classic paper is 7 by 9 or 7 by 9.25. I've also seen some places that measured Happy Planner Classic paper as 7.25 by 9.25. So as you can see, we're talking about like a 1/2 inch all the way around between a B5 piece of paper and a Happy Planner Classic piece of paper. So if you're someone that needs more space than what an A5 or a letter provides, then consider going to a B5 or a Happy Planner Classic size, because that's going to give you more space without being a full 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, right? So you'll notice that for a 1/2 letter size, it's a 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and an A5 is 5.8 by 8.3. So it's a little bit taller, but a little bit wider, right? Because it's going to be 5.8 by 8.3. So it's going to be a little bit wider, but a little bit shorter. So I have some half size sheets over here. Oh, and these are, because I buy the executive notes in half letter size, right? So, oops, let's show it like that for the height. So as you can see, for the height, it's just a little bit that we're talking about, right? And then you can also see, again, for the width, it's just a little bit that we're talking about. So it's basically gonna be the same size notebook, if you're talking about like keeping a notebook, right? So that's something to think about if you're doing that. All right. Now what I will say is, if you're looking for like ease of, something to find like easy binders for or things like that, then, A5 is easy to find stuff to fit in terms of binders. Everybody sells A5 binders. Everybody sells A5 inserts. It's super common, super easy to find stuff. But if you're talking about ease of use, I am here for B5 in terms of ease of use, for me personally. Now, let's see. I've got these 3 dividers, so let me go ahead and put one divider right there. And then let's put one divider right here for the journaling insert, and then let's do this overall and put this in this divider right there. And then let's do this one here. And I'm just gonna close that, and then I'm gonna put this one back here for right now, which is more of like just a storage thing, because I'll probably switch it out later. Now, I do often in my journals leave this back page in here. Again, it's just so that this won't get like scuffed up or dirty, because again, this paper is just a crisp, clean, white paper. All right, so you can see that I got glitter on my binder, and I'm like, what is that gritty feeling? It's glitter. Okay, so now that this is all set up, you can see that these tabs do stick out a little bit from the binder. That may not happen as the binder gets more filled with paper. I don't really know. But yeah, I do notice that they kind of do stick out just a little bit. Not really though. but they definitely come right to the edge. Okay, so, but look at how beautiful that looks all put together, right? So you have that nice clear plastic, you know, the dividers, you have the dashboard here. And then I went ahead and just put the other dashboard right at the back, which gives you that just nice light gray backing on the back. So that just looks really, really, really beautiful to me. I absolutely adore that. And so let's go ahead, and because I do note that there are no pin loops in here, and so I will likely add one because I do have those pin loops that I purchased from Amazon. So I might just add one to the back here. We'll see. I might not. I might just leave it because I'm already admittingly a little wee bit bothered by the fact that these tabs stick out a little bit. But like I said, I think that as the plastic kind of becomes more flexible and more used, and then also as the binder gets more filled up, this might not stick out as much. So we'll see. I do have, which I purchased from Fancy Plans, these gold paper clips, which also have a pen holder in them, and so I might just use this to be able to hold my pen on here. And I actually do really like the way that that looks. So we may just go with that for right now, because that is just, oh, that's pretty, y'all. That is so pretty. Yay. Okay. So that is the setup for this subscription box. So you could go ahead and hit subscribe, hit like, put your comments in the comment section and let me know what you think about this new subscription box. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all of those of you who celebrate. Happy holidays to everyone. And I will see y'all on the next one. Enjoy the bounty of your plans. Bye.